And I'm going to go to an app called Gamma, and I'm going to say create new, paste text, and create a fantastic presentation to impress the cybersecurity students of DSCI CCOE, and that's it. And this is a class to show how generative AI works with free. Dipali, which theme should I choose? Pick one that you like. Mercury, coral glow, nebulae, lux.
We can take nebulae.
Nebulae, where was that? Nebulae. Good. So we'll take this nebulae, select the theme. And if you choose 10 cards, you're going to get an executive summary, elevator pitch, high level, so that you can quickly show this to some guy and get out. But if you want to learn, you make this into a 60 cards. I did not upgrade, and you generate. So this is a customized presentation that is specifically generated for all of you by Gamma with prior intelligence done by me. So let us wait for this to finish. If this does not, we can have the backup that is already done. But let us see. Dipali, how is this?
Yes, sir.
So see the presentation being generated in front of the students, and this is the power of AI. The subject depth is very deep. The quality of presentation is fantastic. And to explain all this to all of you, it's going to take a very long time. I'm 30-year experienced, so it's not going to take 3 minutes. You will not understand all this. But after the class, this URL will be given to you. So you can take a look at it, read it, and you can always private message me if you have any questions. But this is going deep into DNS and security. DNS runs on port 53. It is very, very susceptible to vulnerabilities. Why? Because this protocol was invented in the 70s. And everyone just assumes that it works and it uses UDP. So you can do a lot of bad things without getting detected. What we are trying to do here in TCP Wave is, if someone tries to do something bad, how do you detect them? So while this is happening, we will go, I'll share both the URLs with Deepali. So while this is happening, let us see what is DNS security. DNS translates names to IP addresses. We all know that. It can be cache poisoned, it can be hijacked. You can do a distributed denial of service attack. You can set up a tunnel and steal somebody's data without getting detected. I do a lot of this, so I know how exploits can happen with a with tunneling. Tunneling is something that I request you to Google. How do you tunnel through the web proxy, SSH proxy, SOCKS 5? Once the tunnel is established and you SOCKS 5, you are done. You can steal anything without getting detected. So the hierarchy of DNS is an inverted pyramid. Over the top, you have 13 roots that are anycasted, and the roots are dot. Under the dot, you have the .com, .org, .net. Under the .com, you have google.com, microsoft.com, etc. And these are all authoritative. Finally, everyone looks at a cache such as 8.8.8.8, which is a recursive cache. This goes and queries the root first. Hello, who is deepali.xyz.com? Root says, I don't know, you go talk to TLD for xyz.com. So this guy goes, talks to TLD and says, what is deepali.xyz.com? And the referral comes to authority. This guy goes to the authority again and says, what is xyz.deepali.com? And this guy gives the answer saying it is 1.2.3.4. And this guy goes and gives the answer back to the client that requested for this. DNSSEC is a little too advanced for you, but it'll be in the URL, so check it out. It is a little immature, not enterprise adopted, because not many tools exist. But in our product, we have injected a hell lot of modern tools so that this DNSSEC, which is not widely adopted, can become easily adopted if you switch to our solution. So fundamentals of DNSSEC are explained. You can read this. So I wanted to show you two concepts: DNS over HTTPS, DNS over TLS, transport layer security. There are two RFCs. Please take a look at them and read. And this is the best part: DNS tunneling. Today we will learn how to do DNS tunneling. So what is this DNS tunneling? Is like a backdoor. You have secure firewalls, you have secure proxies, everything is encrypted, great. But your DNS is wide open to the internet from the trading floor laptop. Insider trading is prohibited. The guy can do it. Why? Because the DNS is open. How do you do that? Tunnel. What do you do in the tunneling is do a lookup for by Microsoft at 4 a.m. dot deepali.dsci.com. I will get an answer from DNS saying not found. But the foreign server of Deepali got a query log saying by Microsoft at 3 p.m. She's going to buy 50-50 split with Deepali. That is a criminal offense. You will become going to jail if you are caught. So we detect those kind of things in our algorithms. So we have, for example, given this iodine. If you just Google for iodine, this is available for anyone. So the source code is available. What is a DNS tunnel? What is iodine? I request you to read more about that. And using this, you can set up a DNS tunnel and you can do nonsense. So the client is the victim. You use the legitimate corporate DNS infrastructure. You set up your iodine server on a EC2 instance and you set up a tunnel installation, how to set it up, how to configure, and exfiltrate. Here we are taking out the Linux etc password, zipping it, encrypting it, and for each line, exfiltrate. SSH tunnel code is here. DNS. So how does the query log look like on the foreign host? So the trader is smart. He is not going to say buy Microsoft at 3 p.m. He is going to encrypt it. When you see this in your query logs, that means your network has been compromised. So how do we detect it is through machine learning. Entropy. I'm not going to teach you what entropy is. Go look at it. It's the fundamentals for machine learning stuff, Python advanced. So abnormal rates, normally you see this. There is a spike suddenly. Where is it coming from? From Deepali's laptop. So let us kill the switch port before the ransomware impact becomes bigger. We use machine learning algorithms to detect anomalies and contain the blast. How Deepali got infected is beyond scope, but Deepali cannot spread more because her switch port is shut off automatically. So that's what we do. Machine learning. I'm not sure how many of you are Deepali. What is the scope of the, what are the audience education levels?
So most of them are the students from cybersecurity background, and there are some professionals as well who are in cybersecurity.
Okay, thank you. So everyone knows what entropy is. It's a measure of randomness, and we use different kinds of classifiers, methods, and we determine if the query is legitimate in your network after training our models with your sane data for some time. The definition of anomaly is today you do not have any attacks, nobody is asking you for ransomware. Set up a baseline analyzing billions of queries on your local DNS servers. You are normal today. Now, tomorrow, if you got hacked, Deepali's laptop is the first one to get compromised. If you are with someone else, you could just let Deepali spread it. But if you are with us, we kill Deepali's switch port, the other guy's switch port, the moment anomaly is there, we kill. So that is our platform and our security features. We stabilize DNS. In DNS, you have something called response policy zones. This is like if you want to look up for Microsoft.com, that's good. But if you want to look at something that's prohibited in your organization, pornography.com, this is going to stop that. So response and CM is for streaming all the logs into a central log management station. We also support this in our product built in. So you don't need to stream logs if you use us, but if you want to, you can stream it to different sources. Our support uses Wireshark, and these are the kind of things that you need to look out for. There is this Russian APT29. These guys did some bad things. You can Google on them. Various kinds of exploits are just published on GitHub. And for a reason, they are always broken. You can use cloud, chat GPT, etc. to download broken pen testing tools and make them into potential penetration testing tools to hack your own network to see if you're vulnerable or not. That's something that each one of you can think about after this class. If you hack yourself, nobody can hack you. So, what are these things? I'm not, most of you probably know all these things. I'm not going to. Domain generation algorithms. This is something nice and fancy. What this means is Deepali is going to go and register with GoDaddy 10,000 domains. All of them look like garbage. Your web proxy has protected all the bad guys because they are getting feeds from someone, and your browsers are protected. But Deepali just registered 10,000 domains, and in the domain number 750, she configured this tunneling server. And she goes to the office and she starts. Who is going to check if this each of the 10,000 is legitimate or not? By the time your check is done, your property is stolen. So tunnels are dangerous. Take a look at this. And I have done a lot of this work, and I know how bad poor security is. Firewall rules have to be strong, number one. Number two, your web application firewall should be perfect. Never let your internet queries go out. Always be self-rooted and only permit selected DNS queries to go out. So if you're in an organization and if you are in the command prompt and if you do a DNS lookup for CNN.com, you should not get an answer. All outbound go through proxy. All inbound stay inbound only. Anything that is going out has to be inspected by machine learning. This is the new norm in cybersecurity. Every packet has to be inspected. If it is encrypted, decrypt, examine, re-encrypt, and then pass it. So if you're a cybersecurity professional, you have to think at the packet layer. Examine every packet. If you think like that, then your cybersecurity future would be fantastic. So if you go back to this page, this finished. It's too much to read, but I will give this to you and you can happily read this and ping me if you have any questions. Deepali, I think I'm done. I'm not going to go into deep stuff because the audience are students.
Yes, sure. Thank you so much, sir, for the wonderful session. We can now take a few questions from the audience. So please share your question in the Q&A section or raise your hand and I will unmute you. Yes. So Shriyam sir had some doubts, had some
Go
questions.
ahead.
So I'm on the. Yes, sir, please.
Yes, hello, Pawan. That was a wonderful explanation and a demo. I just want to ask that how do we avoid these things which happened, like so much dependency or single point failures, like what happened with AWS DNS outage? Hello.
Yeah, I'm trying to answer your question, sir. Hold on.
Oh, okay, okay, no.
I know the answer, but I want to show the class who's still seeing my screen. So we're going to say add a new card. So Dr. Sriram wants to know how to avoid the recently AWS outage happened because of some provider went down and they had a DNS issue. No provider will tell you what exactly the DNS issue is. They cover up. So, sir, the answer for your question is preventing AWS DNS outage. The answer is on your screen. Do you want me to read it for you?
Yeah, I'd like your perspective on it. Yeah.
So, poor DNS practices, which include letting others hack you because you forgot to do something. Your network access control lists must be tight. Do not let people do zone transfers from you if you don't know them. The moment you open up your allow update, allow query, allow transfer, allow recursion, you are compromised. Never trust people to query your DNS server if you don't know them. These are the kind of things to enforce, and always have your own internal DNS server. Never rely on Google. If your corporation has its own internal DNS server, which is obviously not Microsoft, the problem with Microsoft is it's a stable company, but it's a very big company. And DNS is one of the tiny topics of Microsoft. For us, the DNS is the whole world for us, and we are extremely focused on DNS. So, just to let you know before time runs out, we are a 14-year-old company, and in India, our largest customer is the Indian Navy. We run the defense, and we also have customers like State Bank of India, Bajaj, Godrej, Reliance, Airtel, TCS, and CSB Bank. Sir, I'm forgetting many names, and the list goes on. We have a happy set of customers, and we request you to work with us. If you are a decision maker on this call, we request you to evaluate us. We are a set of 27 developers, and all of us are in India. I live in North America. So please help us by promoting our product. So, sir, Sriram, sir, what happened in that outage is if the distributed denial of service attack is launched on port 53 against a provider like, say, DNS. Can you guys still hear me?
Yes, sir, we can hear.
So, okay. So when the provider like DNS gets a DDoS attack, there is a provider called ISC bind. So you can go take a look at this company called isc.org. This is an Internet Software Consortium. They give you this DNS software called ISC bind. And on a Dell box, you can only send so many requests per second. If you cross that number of requests per second, the box will become unresponsive. If you come to us, if you get bombed, we automatically spin new systems and we change your BGP Anycast routing on your Cisco routers, and we add a new BGP peer so that you can absorb the DDoS. But if you don't have any DDoS, we will scale you down. So scale up and scale down depends on the load. These features are available in the cloud. Amazon Elastic Load Balancing. But in the data center, when you are having a hypervisor like, say, VMware, it's not possible. Or maybe it is possible, but nobody knows how to do it. In our situation, if you use our product and if you get attacked, we automatically spin up. In the backend, we use Ansible and Terraform. So we spin up a new DNS VM and we connect that to your BGP, and bingo, you can absorb more load, more load, more load. And suddenly, when there is no load, the algorithm is going to say the load is gone. Let us step down. Watch out. Sometimes the load is gone and suddenly it can come back again with a even more 25 gig ransomware DDoS attack. So you have to scale up more, and how much can you scale depends on how rich you are. So I hope I answered some questions for all of you. There are some hands. Deepali, could you please get some answers, questions from the audience?
Yes, sir, sure. I am unmuting Chandrasekhar, sir.
Sure.
Sir, I have two questions. One is um, few of them are software-defined networks and DNS are existing. So for students and others, professionals, evolution of a physical network infrastructure to a software-defined infrastructure. So there's a lot of research papers we need to look into it to understand those. Is what I understood while I was learning on the cloud and other areas of software-defined networks. So do you have any kind of a evolution journeys which we can look into it? That's my first question. Second question is, we will start seeing most of the time over the last 10, 12 years as an architect or a tools architect, F5 load balancer, Palo Alto load balancer. And what are the other load balancers that are basically from Indian origin? So rather than just using from a Palo Alto or an F5, which is a tier one solutions. So why can't we bring more of a DNS and network solutions from India itself, the software solution products? So what is your viewpoint? Because you are into the industry for more than 30 plus years. So this is something I want to learn more about it.
So what we are doing is we are having our own local host developing our own software on our own laptops. So this is my laptop, local host. I hope you can see my screen, sir. So I
Yes,
did
yes.
not add any validation. I'm still coding this. And so this is a program that is developing by itself. It goes to our customer portal, automatically fixes the tickets, and it tells me how my screens will look like in future. So it is still doing the work, and this is my product. So here I'm going to add IP addresses. I can ask this to do some magic using speech. So these are the kind of new interfaces. If you go to your DNS management, if you go to say, did I do any threat intelligence? Not yet. And still working on it. So load balancer you mentioned. So you can define your backends and front ends much better than F5. We compete with them. Every feature of F5 is present in this product. I'm the developer for this. Any questions you can ask me. So this product, and I also wanted to ask you, Sir Chandrasekhar, and all the seniors present on this meeting, we are having agentic AI webinars, how software can develop software in for services that matter to the industry. If you see dashboards like this in a command center, you will be happy. And the best part is you can develop it by yourself. I'm developing it. And I'll be more than happy to share with you. See, these are the kind of errors you get when you code. And yeah, so I hope I answered your question. So the future is develop your own apps and develop apps that can develop their own apps. That sounds complex and futuristic, but I try to learn future. That's me. Sir, I
Thank you,
hope I
sir.
answered your question.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much.
So we compete with the Infoblox, Bluecat, Efficient IP, Citrix, RV, F5, Zscaler is in our radar. And in the future, we plan to add content delivery networks so that we have streaming also. In the back end, we use model context protocol and agent to agent communication. So let me just show you our. So this is our company. It's called TCP Wave, and the FAQs. This is what I developed using Elasticsearch and Model Context Protocol, GSAP animation, and how do I add an object? If you say add obj, it will immediately give you an answer. Fantastic speed. My 40,000 support questions and answers converted to JSON, loaded into Elasticsearch. Anyone can understand how do I do this? How do I do that? Using my product. So it simplifies life a lot. That's what it can do. And the next generation threat intelligence dashboards you can create. Come on. Using Grafana, I did this. And we also do network discovery. Goodness, the port is down. So, okay, anyway, the system is having an issue. And I hope I answered your question. Two more questions from somebody.
Sir, I don't think there is any more questions. I think Dr. Shyam sir had. Yes.
Yes, hello, Pawan. Very nice explanation. So the question here is that in this day and age where people are more interested in the bulk of them in saying programming, oh, let's just stick to some application programming, building this e-commerce website, some healthcare app and all. Why would people want to? What, in your opinion, is there why people should dive deep into the guts of this network and do this kind of a fundamental stuff that drives the internet and all these complex components, how they fit together and all that. Students here, what is a good reason for them to dive into this and build their career in this? Okay, as vis-a-vis the more sort of quote unquote easy stuff for which they can go around for jobs and all.
So my advice to the students is DNS, if you want to cyber security, you have to be very good with command line. Linux operating system. Since 1994, I have been poking with that. I'm a chemical engineer by education, bachelor's, master's, learned Unix in America, and here I am today. So Unix command line looks, my screens look like this. So I do a lot of agentic AI stuff, and I have Python code that I already wrote, and I'm refactoring that using AI. So these kind of things, LangChain, Llama, the things that I shared in that presentation, they are all buzzwords, cybersecurity. Well, if you don't know what cybersecurity is, but if you can say DGA family conflicker, How do you detect that in your bank today? If they say we don't have it, then that's not a good answer, right? So you learn and you check. You just don't learn and keep quiet. So somebody's known exploit, is your network still exploitable? You have to check. And how do you check? You can download something from the internet. So cybersecurity professionals need something called curiosity. Instead of preaching, can I hack myself? Test. Become hands-on with Linux. Depend less on people, and that's how you learn. Any further questions?
Sir, I don't think. Please, if anyone have any questions, further questions, please drop or raise your hands. Otherwise, I think we should close this Q&A session.
Right. And thank you very much, everyone, for attending. We would request all of you to please consider attending our webinar, December 6th and December 19th, organized by DSCI. Dr. Sriram is going to provide additional details.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much for the great questions and your insightful answers, sir. Thank you so much for the session.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Pawan.